Okay, we're now going to look at the intersection of various straight lines and how to find that point of intersection. We've got triangle PQR. P has the coordinates 8, 3. Q has the coordinates -1, 6. R has the coordinates 2, -3. We're going to find the equation of the altitude QS. So the altitude QS, it comes from Q and it cuts S at a right angle. So I'm first of all going to find the gradient of RP and then look to flip and invert to get the gradient of QS. So for the gradient of RP, that will be 3 minus -3 over 8 minus 2. 3 minus -3 is 3 plus 3, that's 6 over 8 minus 2 is 6, and that's 1. It's then going to be m1, m2 equals -1 because we're dealing with altitudes, perpendicular lines. So flip 1 over 1, still 1 changes sign, that will give me a gradient of -1. We have the gradient of the line, which is -1. We've got a point that lies on the line, which is -1, 6. And we can throw that into y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. So that will be y minus 6 is equal to -1 bracket x minus -1, which is x plus 1. Y minus 6 is equal to -x minus 1. Put that over the other side and change its sign, so it's going to be y equals -x plus 5. The question is now asking me to find the equation of the median RT. So there is the median RT, which, if it's a median, cuts this line in the middle. So let's first of all find the midpoint here of QP. So that will be an average of the x and the y coordinates, so -1 plus 8 over 2 . 6 plus 3 over 2. -1 plus 8 is 7. 7 over 2, that's 7 over 2. 6 plus 3 is 9, and that will be 9 over 2. We're now going to find the gradient of the line using these 2 points. So that's MRT is equal to 9 over 2 minus -3. Over -7 over 2 minus 2. So 9 over 2 minus -3 is 9 over 2 plus, so 3 I can write as 6 over 2 over 7 over 2 minus, and I'll write 2 as 4 over 2. So 9 over 2 plus 6 over 2 is 15 over 2 over 7 over 2 minus 4 over 2 is 3 over 2. That's then 15 over 2. I'm going to change the divide to a multiply, flip the second fraction upside down, and that will give me 30 over 6, and the gradient of the line is 5. I can then use that gradient plus any point that lies in the line to find the equation. So I'm going to choose the point R, which lies on the line, and that is the point 2, -3, which I'm going to label as AB. So remember that the gradient is 5, so that's y minus -3 is equal to 5 bracket x minus 2. Y minus -3 is y plus 3 is equal to 5x minus 10. Bring that over, change its sign, and that will be y equals 5x minus 13. The question then says find the coordinates of M, and the coordinates M, as you can see, is the point of intersection between the median and the altitude. So to find the equation, to find the point of intersection, that's simultaneous equations. So the first equation that I've got there is the altitude, and the second one is the median. I'm looking for the point of intersection. I can get rid of the y's here, so we can see that the signs are both plus. So I'm going to do a subtraction, equation 1 take away equation 2. So y take away y will give me 0. Minus x minus 5x will give me minus 6x, and 5 minus 13, be careful, that's 5 plus 13. That'll give me 18. So move that over there, 6x is 18, x is 18 to x equal to 18 over 6, and x equal to 3. I can then sub x equals 3 into one of the equations to find y, and I'm going to put into equation 1. So that will be y equals, well, if x is 3, then minus x will be minus 3 plus 5, and y is equal to 2. So the point of intersection between both lines is 3, 2. Next example, we'd first of all write down the equation of the perpendicular bisector of QR. So perpendicular bisector of QR, it's going to cut it in the middle and cut it at a right angle. So that might look something like that. So first of all, we'll find the midpoint. So the midpoint is given by an average of the x and the y coordinates, so that's minus 2 plus minus 2 over 2. (12 plus 2 over 2). Minus 2 plus minus 2, well, it's minus 4 over 2. And 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 over 2 is 7. So the midpoint then can be given by minus 2, 7. I can now find the gradient of QR. So that will be 12 minus 2 over minus 2 minus minus 2. And that will be 10 over minus 2 minus minus 2 is minus 2 plus 2, and that's 0. Anything divided by 0 gives me an undefined result for the gradient. The undefined result for the gradient implies that it's an infinite result, which in turn means that that's a vertical line. So perpendicular to a vertical line must be a horizontal line. So the gradient of the perpendicular bisector then must be 0. And that's derived from the calculation that that result gave me an undefined gradient, insinuating that that's a vertical line, and perpendicular to vertical line must obviously be a horizontal line, gradient of 0. So we've got a gradient of 0, and it passes through the point minus 2, 7. An important point to note about horizontal lines. Horizontal lines have the equation y equals, and it's just y equals wherever it cuts the y-axis, and in this case that's equal to 7. The question then asks us to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PR. So again, cuts in the middle and cuts at a right angle. So let's first of all find that midpoint, average of the x and y coordinates. So -6 minus 2 over 2, 4 plus 2 over 2. -6 minus 2 is -8, -8 over 2 is -4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 over 2 is 3, so that midpoint then can be given by the point -4, 3. I'll now find the gradient of this line and take it from there. So the gradient of PR is given by 2 minus 4 over -2 minus -6, and that's -2 over -2 minus -6 minus 2 plus 6, that's 4, and that's -1/2. To find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector, the green line then, I would flip and invert. So m1, m2 equals -1. Flip -1/2 over, and that will give me 2 over 1 by changing the sign. I then use the point, which was the midpoint, -4, 3 is AB, and it's y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. Y minus 3 is equal to 2 bracket x minus -4, which is x plus 4. And that will be y minus 3 equals 2x plus 8, which then gives me y equals 2x plus 11. Part C then says find the point intersection of both lines, both perpendicular bisectors. So equation 1 was y equals 7, equation 2 y equals 2x plus 11. So at this point I can make y equal to y, and that will give me 7 equals 2x plus 11. So that's by subbing equation 1 into equation 2. 2x would then be equal to 7 minus 11, which is -4, and x is equal to -4 over 2, which is -2. The point of intersection then is given by -2, and I don't need to check for the y coordinate because I already know that is equal to 7.